We live in such a stressed world. There's so much going on, so you need to connect with yourself at least once a day. You don't have to call it meditation, but just take that moment for yourself to be or to ask yourself questions to gain clarity. What is going on in my mind? Why is it so busy in my head? Why do I feel the way I do? Why do I feel sad? Why do I feel stressed? Why do I feel angry? Why do I give meaning to whatever happened to me?
Michael Pilarczyk.
Also known as Mr. Mindset.
From a renowned DJ and TV host to a millionaire at 27.
I told you many years ago, you got a Rolls-Royce voice.
After losing all his money on the stock market,
He bounced back, made millions again, and then went on a journey of self-awareness.
He now is a best-selling author, speaker, and serial entrepreneur.
His insights guide people to transform their lives.
Find clarity and live with purpose.
My definition of meditation is finding inner peace, finding the stillness in myself, but also it's a way of living. It's not just the exercise of, doing the 5 or 10 minute meditation. Although I never sit like this, I just do it wherever I am, walking in the garden, sitting in the garden, sitting on my bed. You can do it everywhere where you want. But it's really to connect with yourself, to disconnect from the outside world, to be with yourself. And to me, it became a way of living. So most of the time, I'm very quiet, very at ease. I'm almost never stressed. My mind is very clear and peaceful. Even if I'm working, even if I'm doing business, although I have a busy life, and especially because I have a busy life, I need to take a break now and then. So let's say 5, 6, 7 times a day, I take a short break, 2, 3, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to be, to feel my awareness in this moment. That's meditation to me. I personally practice meditation on a daily basis. Always in the morning I take a few minutes for myself before I start a busy day to, just to relax, to ground, to feel myself, just to be aware for a few minutes, aware of my being. I take a walk in the garden to connect with nature, to connect with myself, to be in the moment before I start the new day. Sometimes I really sit down, close my eyes, try to connect to the stillness inside of me. Sometimes I do a visualization. I imagine, for example, the day ahead, or a goal I want to achieve, or a dream I might have. So that's more an active meditation. Sometimes I listen to guided meditations. I really love listening to Sri Ravi Shankar, Wayne Dyer, sometimes Bob Proctor, Rajri Patel. I have a few favorites I really love to listen to. And at the end of the day, I take some moments of stillness for myself, and then I just try to empty my head, clear my mind before I go to bed. I always ask myself, what am I grateful for today? And then I finish my day at peace. About 15 years ago, I thought it was a bit of whooshy word thing, not for me. I was a bit depressed, unhappy by then, and one of my friends told me, well, Mike, maybe you should do some meditation. And I was like, no, that's not for me. But along my journey, I call it my journey to self-awareness, I was sailing on my boat, all by myself in the middle of the ocean, and I was so one with nature, with the elements, wind, sea, and myself, that I realized that there was a kind of stillness inside of me. Then I met a holistic teacher, meditation teacher, a Buddhist monk. They taught me how to meditate. So that's been about 12 to 13, 14 years ago. Yeah, I think it's about 14 years ago. And I started doing my daily meditations. I took classes. And since then it became a new way of life, you know, and it really is part of me now to be like in a meditative state. Well, sometimes people say it doesn't happen overnight. If you start meditating, if you're stressed and, you know, your mind is so occupied with many thoughts. But in my case, it really happened overnight. In 3 nights, I really turned from being angry, stressed, unhappy to completely relaxed. 3 days of stillness, nothingness, emptiness. And I think if you do a stillness meditation retreat or something for 3 days, being with you without thoughts, there's thoughts in your mind, but if you don't focus on your thoughts, if you don't focus on your thinking mind, just try to connect with the emptiness, you will experience that it can happen almost overnight. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes when you're really busy, still now, you know, when I'm really busy, I have to think about a lot of things. I might be in my bed, you know, worrying, but then after half an hour, 1 hour, I take my practice, I try to ground myself, to focus my attention to the emptiness, the stillness inside of me. I do my affirmations. I'm here and now. I'm grateful for my life. You know, my life is a blessing. And I really feel my connection with my awareness. I hope you understand what I try to explain, but if you've been there, like if you imagine there is a place where your stillness is secretly locked, then meditation is the key to unlock that door to your holy temple, which is somewhere inside of you. I think it's my opinion. You know, I never had the intention to start a meditation business, but during my seminars, my live events, I was doing meditations, guided meditations. And what I noticed was that I could achieve more with an hour of meditation than I could by talking all day about mindset and overcome your fears and creating peace and whatever and asking the right questions. When I started doing these guided meditations, I understood that I could make the connection with the audience. I could touch them way beyond words do. So when you disconnect from your words, your rational mind, from listening to me, but you listen on a energetic level and you feel the intention and you feel the energy I'm expressing during my guided meditations, there are actually no words needed. It's a kind of energy transformation transaction. Even if you don't want to surrender, your creative brain, your rational mind can create a distance, but your emotional mind, your heart, cannot. So when you open your heart and you are ready to receive this energy, then something remarkable happens. It's really hard to express, but I've been doing this with so many people, and it really changed their life because they were touched by the words, but mostly by the energy of the guided meditation. So when I noticed I could change and helped so many people by guided meditation, the idea raised that why shouldn't we do more with that? And people were asking me, do you have these meditations on CD? And I was like, CD? That's way back. And one day during a business seminar, there were two guys in the audience, Mike and Joey, young guys. I think they were 21 or 22 years old. They were techies. They were building apps, applications for mobile phones. And they came up with the idea to build an app around my meditations. And so we founded Meditation Moments with Mikey and Joey and Cindy, my wife, and I, the four of us. I started recording. I recorded about 200 guided meditations. They were building the app. Cindy did the marketing part. And then in 2018, we launched Meditation Moments. And now we have over 1 million downloads, thousands of people worldwide using the app daily to create more peace of mind, have better sleep, overcome fears, to live a more balanced life. Well, meditation really had an impact not only on my life, but also on my business. Because my business is part of who I am. I'm a business owner. So if I change as a human being, my business will automatically change as well. I used to be very stressed about 20 years ago, I could get really angry. I was a guy that had lots of problems handling his emotions. I was always fighting, wrestling with my own emotions inside of me, in my mind. Never at peace, always restless in my head. And when I started this meditative way of living, I noticed that I'm much more relaxed, I don't get angry that fast. I always focus on the solution, not on the problem. I never have conflicts with other people. I listen. I have more compassion. I live more out of love. I always say I'm loving awareness. That's the way I am. That's the way I live. So I completely changed as a human being. I can say that the Michael I used to be 20 years ago is a completely different person than I am now. If people like me now, I think they wouldn't like the person I used to be. And people who know me from then, they say to me, you're so different. You changed so much. You're a different type of guy, and they're right. I think I was reborn after I started doing my meditations, and I feel different, and it's way more relaxed. And due to my business, I have a better view, better vision, better focus, not so worried. Take it with ease. I don't push that much. I don't have to achieve the highest level, more success. It's good as it is. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm okay with this life. And that's what meditation absolutely did. Sometimes I write it down. Sometimes I write a script, because if I receive a question about, can you make a meditation about loss, about grief? I lost my mother. I lost my significant other. My baby died after 1 year, and I'm so sad. I'm in tears. Can you help me? Can you make a meditation on that? Then I write like a book, a script, and then I read the script while recording. But most of the time I just sit there. I wait, and then the words come, and I record what I feel in myself and what comes to mind. But sometimes, yes, I pre-write the script to record it, yeah. I think the voice always been there. I know when I was 12, I had a French teacher. And you know, when you're in that age of 10, 11, 12, your voice goes up and down and up and down. And I had a voice like that. And then sometimes I sounded like this. And I know I was in that French class. And the teacher, she was a lovely lady, but she thought I was making fun of her, you know, because I was talking like this and then, au revoir, mademoiselle. And she was, speak normal. You know, I was like, oh, this is my voice. And she sent me out of the class. I was like, I didn't do anything wrong, you know, this is my voice. Really true story. And so from when I was 12 or 13 years old, this was my voice. But a voice is like an instrument. It's like a piano. I can give you a Steinway, the best piano ever, but if you don't know how to play it, it makes no sense. It has no value. So there are many people with great voices, but you have to practice. You know, it's like learning to play the voice, how you can use your voice. Way back when I was working in the radio station, I had to learn how to use my voice at the radio, how to record commercials. And I did some TV voiceover work for a while. And then when I started doing these meditations, it was my natural way of speaking, like, hello, close your eyes, sit down, relax. Just, you know, if you are relaxed, your voice is relaxed. You send out, you radiate this relaxed energy. If you are not relaxed and you have the greatest voice, you won't touch people with your meditation. So when I started recording the meditations, I had to be really aware of being in the right state of being. Loving, kind, peaceful energy. And that is, I think, what's the secret within the voice. It's not only the voice, it's the energy. Well, ask yourself, why should you start? I think it's good for everybody to meditate. You know, not like meditate, don't make it too complex, but just to create a moment for yourself daily. I think everybody should have a moment daily, just once at least, to get out of the rush, to take some distance from your outer world, the stress, the news, all the information, you know, we live in such a stressed world. There's so much going on, so you need to connect with yourself at least once a day. And if you do that, you don't have to call it meditation, but just take that moment for yourself to be or to ask yourself questions to gain clarity. What is going on in my mind? Why is it so busy in my head? Why do I feel the way I do? Why do I feel sad? Why do I feel stressed? Why do I feel angry? Why do I give meaning to whatever happened to me? You know, take time to think it over, to understand yourself better, to create more peace of mind, and as well, you will create more focus and more energy and more self-confidence. I know if people meditate or take a moment for at least once a day, and you do that, let's say 7 to 10 days in a row, 7 days, 1 week, or 10 days, your life will change. I promise you. First day could be weird, second day could be, there we go again, third day, not again, you know, I have no peace in mind, all the voices in my head, they keep on chatting. But then after day 4, 5, 6, you will notice there's something happening. You cannot resist. It's really happening without you doing anything. It just happens. And then you will notice that there is a flow going on, and it will take you somewhere inside, like you shut off the TV, like you switch off the light. You are there, but you're disconnected from the noise. And you know, I think if more people will start meditating, we can and we will change the world. There will be more world peace. There will be less conflicts, less fights. And I know because about 50 years ago, in the 70s, 80s, there was a yogi, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And he was living in America for a while, and he did meditations in the area of Chicago and Detroit. And he wanted to prove that if a group of people would meditate at the same time for about 20 minutes together, not even in a group, but in a certain area. Like in Detroit, there were a few thousand people meditating at the same time for peace, for balance, for harmony, for a better world. And they did some scientific research on that. And this research showed that there was less crime, there was less illness, less disease, less conflicts, less problems. Scientifically proven, you know, in the 70s and 80s and also in the 90s, that when more people are meditating at the same time, there is an energy that radiates out into the world and will change the energy in that area. And it affects the outer world, our life, our outside life. So I'm absolutely convinced that if we do more of this in areas where it's needed, in the war zones, and I can imagine, you know, if you're in a war, you're not meditating, you're praying for peace, but it would be better to meditate. You know, praying is asking God, meditating is asking yourself and the universe and talking to whatever you believe in to create a kind of harmony on an energetic level. But praying is also good. It's also good to pray for peace. If we will meditate more, we will create a better world. And we need to.